Hi everyone, just wanting to check in and say good job on test 1. So we took the reproductive system test, we made it through last week, and now you know what to expect as far as the tests go, so that's a good thing, and you did a great job. The average grade in this class was 74.5, so we're right on track with where we should be. Now this week, we want to continue with the endocrine system. So hopefully last week you learned about the pituitary gland and you know, how that is regulated, how secretion from the pituitary gland is regulated. This week we're looking at the thyroid gland with the parathyroid glands and then the adrenal gland. And I'm not sure if I showed you this last week, so let me just quickly show you that if you go under units 1 through 6 and we go into the endocrine system, this optional hormone worksheet, I would recommend that you print that and that you fill that out as you go through this week. Because what it is a chart that shows you, you know, like the endocrine glands that we're learning, but also it gives you a spot to list, and you could quiz yourself like this, the hormones that are coming from those glands, what the stimulus would be for those glands to secrete their hormone, where the target is, okay, where that hormone is going to have its effect, in other words, and then also what are the effects of that hormone. And if you can start using that terminology, you know, the source of the hormone, the stimulus for why it would be released, the target, and the effect, that will help you out a lot in reading and on the test. And so you can kind of summarize that. And so I don't have a template for flashcards. I just have this worksheet because I think that's going to summarize this unit really well. So I would recommend that you print that and that you take a look at that. I would also recommend, and I have this in the week too, that you take a look at this lecture on the structure and function of the adrenal glands. That's the hardest gland that we cover in this unit, and so it might be worth looking at the at that video. So I guess as far as the content goes, let me just mention that the thyroid gland is kind of like a split personality, because you're going to have the thyroid follicles, and the thyroid follicles, that's the major portion of the gland, secretes the hormones T3 and T4, and those hormones are basically stimulating metabolism. They stimulate heat production, they cause, you know, increased oxygen consumption because they're stimulating mitochondria, you know, to burn through nutrients faster. That's what increasing metabolism are. And that's the main portion of the thyroid. But then this other portion of the thyroid are just cells in between these follicles, and they're called parafollicular cells. And those parafollicular cells secrete an entirely different hormone called calcitonin. And calcitonin is a hormone that helps regulate our blood calcium levels. Calcitonin works to decrease our blood calcium level when the calcium is high. And it would be high, say, like because of dietary intake, like you just took a calcium supplement or, you know, drank a glass of milk, something like that. And then, you know, to make matters more confusing here, what happens is that this section of the thyroid, the parafollicular cells secreting calcitonin, are going to work hand in hand with, oops, sorry about that, with the parathyroid. Okay, so the parathyroids are separate glands. They're embedded right on back of the thyroid gland. And the parathyroid glands just release one hormone called parathyroid hormone, and they work in opposition to calcitonin. So calcitonin is working to increase our blood calcium levels. Parathyroid hormone works to, calcitonin works to decrease our blood calcium levels. I'm all flustered because of the call. And then the parathyroid hormones are going to work to increase our blood calcium levels, which, you know, if you think about like as an adult, this is going to be, you know, the major hormone, because typically our blood calcium levels will be below where they should be, and we're going to get them back up to where they should be using parathyroid hormone. So that's a little intro on the thyroid gland and the parathyroid glands. The adrenal gland, like I said, that one is tough. I'm going to recommend that you watch the lecture on that and reach out to me with any questions. Okay, and we'll be in touch again before next week. Next week we're wrapping up this whole system, and we're taking the test on this next week. So again, please keep track of the hormones as you go through on this worksheet, and have a great week. And hopefully I'll talk to you soon. See you later. Oh, and happy Valentine's Day.